I've been in markets where, like Utah, they charged a lot of money for their parts, but the whole market did. And I just came to realize, like, no matter what I'm charging people, they should all get the same work, whether it's a slumlord who's, paying you $50, $75 to install the motor he bought himself, or all the way up to the billionaire who lives up in Park City. They all get the same work, and that keeps me consistent. That makes sure that the corners aren't getting cut and every customer has a great experience.
All right, guys, what is up? Hey, I'm Blair Witkowski, and this is another episode of Lifted, the Garage Door podcast. And today I've got the pleasure to talk to Seth Neumann from Legacy Garage Doors in Purvis, Mississippi. Seth, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. So, it's always the normal questions in the beginning, but your questionnaire that I send out ahead of time really piqued my interest. Are you new to the business and you just started your company? So tell me a little bit how you got into it and your experience.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for going on 11 years.
Okay.
I ran my own business previously for a very short time. That was like my first go at it. I had maybe 2 years of garage door experience and zero in terms of business or knowing how the industry ran.
Yeah.
So it didn't last long. It was a very humbling and very painful experience.
Wow. So when was that? How long ago was that?
2017, I want to say.
Okay. And how did you get into the garage door business with no experience at that point? What were you looking to do? Just have your own business?
Yeah, I think at that point I had been in the industry for a couple of years, and it was really ego driven.
Okay.
I got a chip on my shoulder over something silly with the employer that I was with, and I said I'm going to go out and do my own thing.
Well, you and me have a lot in common. I've done stuff like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have those moments, and fortunately or unfortunately, I guess it depends on how you look at it. It was, I took that step. I took actions, in that state of mind, and I did learn a lot. There's a lot of things that I definitely won't repeat,
Mm-hmm.
and there are things that I've made sure to include in this endeavor.
Gotcha. So you were working for someone, went out on your own for about 2 years. And then if you don't mind talking about it, like what went through your mind? Like when you're like, because I've had 2 businesses, my wife would probably say more than that same situation. You're like, wow, I think I'm making money, but I'm really not, or this is just costing me an arm and a leg. What happened? Can you tell a little bit about the collapse, if you want to call it that, or if you don't mind talking about it?
Sure. So after being in the industry for 2 years as a technician, I went out on my own, and it lasted about 6 months.
Okay.
After 6 months, the business wasn't coming in. I had a business partner who owned about 95% of the company, and he came to me and he said, I'm tapped out. It's not bringing in money. I can't do this anymore. You'll have to go back to work. And I said, I don't want to. I don't want to go back to work here in the city. And so I told him I was done. And so it was, like I said, it was a little flash in the pan, 6-month endeavor.
Okay.
That really wasn't that planned out. It wasn't a great business agreement, but against my better judgment, I decided to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, well, definitely if he's got 95%, that's always tough.
Yeah. And it's probably good I didn't have any more voice than he gave me, because I would have made a lot more mistakes than I did.
So you went back and you stayed in the industry and you went back and got a job as a technician someplace else?
Yeah. I went and I traveled around and I worked for a handful of different companies.
Okay.
And it was a ride. I didn't really get a firm grasp on being a technician and getting to know the ins and the outs of the garage door world until 2021. Up until that point, I was just a salesman, and I would sell the jobs. And if I ran into issues, I would cut corners. I was actually I don't think I was a great technician. I thought I was better than I was. I was also pretty solid alcoholic. So all of that changed 4 years ago. Actually, it's funny. 4 years ago today is when I got sober, and that's when everything started to change for me.
So that
Okay.
dude, that is really, like I said, I've done some stuff like that too, where I mean, I think at the core, all of us, I don't know, my some of my friends disagree, but I think at the core, like we all want to own our own business. Like we all have this vision. And unfortunately, it's actually not what it's cracked up to be like 80% of the time. There are many days where I'm like, wow, it'd be nice at 5 o'clock just to be done and not this have that this is not my problem right now, you know?
Sure. That's what, when it was presented to me this time, I really weighed that heavily
Did you?
because I've gotten to the point in the industry where the jobs, the day is really easy. Very rarely do I run into things that I can't work through or I haven't seen before. And my soon to be wife, she approached me. She's like, you do really good work. Your character is good. You would be so good at this. And I was like, yeah, but I would have to work a lot more and learn a lot more. There's you ready to answer the phones at 2 o'clock in the morning and on the weekends and not see me for maybe a week at a time. If you're ready for it, I know I can do it. And she's supporting me, and she's actually my business partner, and she's been on a couple podcasts.
Oh, that's cool. All right. So now you're really getting into like good information here. So not only is your future wife, you're going to be your future wife and you're a partner there. She's a partner in your business. So were you guys engaged or dating before you started Garage Door Company, or did it happen afterwards?
Yes, we were already moved in with each other and looking towards the future.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, I work with my wife. I mean, we've homeschooled our kids. I get the chance to work from home almost all the time. And it, I have friends who are like, I can never work with my wife. I'm like, I guess you married the wrong person. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, we realized right away that we're synced up and that we do things better as a team. Everything just falls into place better. She thinks about things that I'm not thinking about. I've got things, so we both really have we're both in our mid to late 40s. And so we know a thing or two about working together. It's not our
That's cool.
first marriage. So
So
yeah.
when you were working so you worked for a couple other guys before you went back out on your own. How long between when you shut down your company and you started your own? How many years had that been, like roughly?
We're going on 2017 until this year. So,
Oh wow.
about
Okay. So a long time.
seven
So that
years.
had to be a really hard decision. I mean, but again, if you've been in the industry that long with your skills and how you've improved, you have to be looking at the financials thinking this all could be more of mine for sure.
Yes. Yes. It was really easy to think that, um, in 2022, probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Two things happened. One, I got sober. The
Amen for
second thing
that.
that happened is I went to work for a company who hired me on hourly. So there was no more trying to get everything I could out of a customer, regardless of what was wrong with the door. I didn't have to make anybody happy in terms of my sales quotas or my,
Okay.
average cost of a job. And so I just kind of settled in to this place where I was like, okay, this is my chance to become a real garage door guy and do jobs that I've never done before, because either I wanted to get the job done quick, it was too messy. And there was all sorts of caps that I put on myself and limitations when I was chasing the high dollar tickets and the sales world. So when I went into hourly, I started to have multiple jobs every week come into my life that I'd never done before. And I had to learn how to work through because I was the lead resi guy for this company.
Wow. So
I
give me
would
an
call it,
example. What kind of repairs where you're like, "Oh, I've never seen this before. This is a disaster." What were some of those?
well, this was in Utah, so there was a lot of old wood doors.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and on wood doors after 50 years old, the screws and the bolts strip out, and you've got to do it through bolting. I never done through bolting. I never lived in an area where there were wood doors or that many that were that old. And so I'd tell the dispatcher, I'd call him and say, I don't know how to do this. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You're the only guy. So I was put in a place where I couldn't pass the buck anymore. The
Oh,
buck
that's wild.
stopped with me. Yeah.
Where in Utah were you?
In Salt Lake City.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I was with a
that's a nice
company
thing.
called Crawford Door Sales, and they were amazing. The way they treated their customers and their employees, top notch.
That's cool. Was it a big family company or corporate
It
company?
was. It was started as a family company,
Mhm.
and at this point, I think they've kind of passed it on to other people, and it's.
Uh,
But
So
yeah,
how'd you get from Utah to Mississippi?
so my business partner slash soon to be wife, her parents are having some health issues, starting to get up there in the years where that kind of stuff
Yeah,
happens, and so she moved out here to be closer to them, and I followed her, of course.
that's cool. So you're in a new area with a new company. So you have no, past client history or client base. So you are starting literally from ground zero, right?
As fresh could be.
So what do you do? I mean, how do you do that? I mean, that's what people want to hear. Like, this is awesome. I mean, because I talk to a lot of guys, and even on the podcast and just in real garage real life, so many guys want to start their own company, but it's hard. And so I mean, you stack the deck against you again. I mean, so I want to hear all the nitty gritty details.
Sure, it's actually a lot more simple than you might think. In this area, there's not a lot of experienced people. I think
Okay,
the biggest company has 5 techs, and I have more experience than all 5 of them put together.
all right, that's cool.
And when I moved here and I started talking to the family members who lived here, brothers and sisters of my wife and friends from church, and I started to tell them, we're thinking about opening up a garage door company. The response was the same. Every single person said, we need that because there's no companies here.
Okay,
Home service companies are notorious for not showing up and
right.
not doing what they say they're going to do. So the bar is set really low.
Yeah. How big
All
of
I
an
have to
area do you
do,
cover? So like, how far are you traveling?
I'll be in Mobile, Alabama one day, Covington, Louisiana the next.
Okay,
So I cover the whole Gulf Coast between Mobile and New Orleans. And then I don't go up into Jackson, not
okay.
that far north. There seems to be quite enough work in the southern Mississippi.
So how do you start getting your name out? So a little bit of word of mouth because you're talking to people locally, but what else? What else are you doing?
Well, we're with Angie,
Okay.
home advisor. We're with
All
Thumbtack.
right. How's that going? I want to hear these good leads or bad leads, or what do you think?
They're not consistent. For the first couple of months, I thought, wow, I'm just paying to be on Angie. Like they're barely paying me. And then the switch turned and I started selling a lot of doors through Angie. A lot of the customers that came from Angie are calling me back or referring me to their neighbors and other customers. So I started to do the math. I thought, actually, really quickly, the money's worth it. It's there.
Okay.
With every lead, it's worth it. If you treat the customer right, then the word of mouth is going to spread no matter where you get the lead from.
What is Angie cost per lead right now?
In this, I don't know if it's per market or how they do it, but for this area, it's about $50 for a new door estimate,
Okay.
which is tough because we do free new door estimates. So it is what it is. But for a door repair, it's about $25.
Okay. I mean, so really, when you do the math, I mean, if you're closing a good percentage, it's actually cheaper than Google Ads at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you're
Thumbtack's been even better than Angie though.
now how much are you paying for a lead on Thumbtack?
Maybe $13 for a repair and $22 for a new door set
No,
opportunity.
see that is interesting. So I've heard different prices. I wonder how it is in each area. Was it hard to get on Thumbtack being a new business? No, they just
No.
want your money.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And I'm closing between 50 and 70% of Thumbtack leads. Angie's about 22 to
Okay.
25%.
Those are pretty good closing rates. And
Yeah.
you're doing these jobs, you're doing repairs and new doors. What do you have a plan in place for repeat business from these people? I mean, I know everyone's like, I do a good job. That's part of it. But are you leaving the stickers? Are you asking for reviews? What are you doing?
Yeah, we have stickers. We're getting reviews from most customers. So we have a whole bunch of 5-star reviews on Angie. Thumbtack's not as busy as Angie, but we're starting to get more Thumbtack reviews. Also, we have stickers that we place on the door and on the wall. I just got the truck wrapped. We've been getting leads off the truck. And then referral yard signs. We've had a couple from yard signs who in turn their neighbors called us. So yeah, there's been a little bit of everything going on.
So we're talking about Angie's and Thumbtacks, and that's like a love-hate relationship. What do you think it is from the customer side that they want to use Angie and Thumbtack? And I mean, like, what do you think drives the public to use these websites?
I don't know. I don't know what differentiates an Angie or Thumbtack or Porch customer from a Google or Yahoo customer. And that's pretty much our pain point is Google. Like we're not Google listed. They are pretty brutal to the garage door industry.
Yeah, they are. So do you have a Google, just like the regular service area listing? No.
Nope. Nope.
Have you tried to get one? Obviously, yeah.
We've been trying ever since we started running calls in August.
How far have you got? I mean, this is a challenge for people. How far have you gotten with it?
I've sent the verification video about 12 times
12 times.
and then
That is crazy.
went through the appeal process every time. And we have all the paperwork, documentation, a wrap truck.
Wow. You know, a lot of guys, I'll tell you, I'll give you a little hint. This used to really, really work almost 100% of the time. It's still pretty decent right now. So if anyone's having trouble getting a Google listing and you know someone who is a Google local guide, right? You know, so everyone who leaves a ton of Google reviews is rated from like 1 to a 10. So as a side note, this is why we all should leave a ton of Google reviews all the time, because you become more powerful and trusted. And then you can do stuff like what I'm about to tell you. But you want to find a local guide, and usually they're happy to help. You just go look at a bunch of restaurants in your area and you'll see a couple of people who always leave reviews, or you may know someone or in your extended family, your fiance's family. If they're a local guide, they can actually suggest a map edit and just put your business on the map unclaimed. Then your business is live, but you don't own it yet. And you can actually ask people to leave you reviews. And then you build up, 8, 10, 20 reviews. And then after like 3, 4, 5 months, you can try to claim it. And trying to claim it is much easier when there's like some history behind it. So that's a little trick.
Okay. That's really good information. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And definitely like make sure that the address and everything's on your website, and that you have all the same information across like all your social profiles, and, go sign up for Yelp and all these citations like Yellow Pages, and have the same address. Because Google, people don't realize the reason they're not getting approved is Google uses AI to verify the business really quick. And if it can't find the business, like it just rejects the video and everything right out of the gate.
Well, that's the confusing thing. We're on like 30 different directories. And if I ask AI about legacy garage doors, sometimes even if I don't specify, AI will spit out legacy garage doors. It's because they see us on so many directories.
Yeah.
So that doesn't seem to be the issue. But I don't know. Well, it's got to be something small, something strange. I just took about 6 weeks from the last one until I try it again. Hopefully it will reset and we can have a little bit of luck.
That really is unfortunate. I mean, as a business owner, I don't know if they realize how damaging they are to small businesses and local businesses. Like how it's outrageously unfair that you can't get a Google map listing to let people leave Google reviews.
Sure. Yeah.
Are you trying to drive reviews on other platforms?
Yeah. Angie's and Thumbtack.
Okay.
Mainly just trying to get each one going. We just joined Porch. I don't know if that's going to be good or not.
Are you doing any like local networking groups or anything in your area, or you're
No,
just everything?
not yet.
Okay.
Next year was, once I just wanted to get through the holidays. I thought December was going to be pretty slow because every other year I've worked for other companies, it seems to die around a week before Thanksgiving and doesn't pick up until middle of January into February. And that's not the case. I've been pretty swamped this month.
But you're also in a different like part of the country. So was all your experience in garage doors in Utah prior to being in Mississippi?
I've done doors. I actually, I started with A1, Tommy Mello's A1 out of Tempe. I was with him when he had 5 trucks or 6 trucks and 0 other markets.
Dude, it's so funny. I would love to have Tommy on the podcast, and I've reached out a few times, and it's like every time we talk about garage doors, his name comes up in all of this. Tell me, what was it like working for him back then?
It was great. I had a great time. I got to go to Tucson and Prescott fairly regularly. That was about the most remote markets he had outside the valley. And then there was a turning point where he started opening up Milwaukee and Oklahoma and Kansas City. And so all of these market managers would come and ride with me for a week or two. And so I'd get to show them garage doors and they'd go out and start their markets. And that's the ego thing that I was mentioning in the beginning.
Oh, it's coming all full circle.
Yeah, I thought I was good enough for my own market, and I was kind of hoping that I'd put in the work. And when I didn't get it, I threw a big old tantrum. That's
Oh,
essentially
that's
it.
okay.
But Tommy's great. He was always, I think it was, I had been working for A1 doing garage doors for maybe 6 months. And Robert Hernard, who is the main, like the field manager, he called me and he's like, "Hey, I'm here with Tommy." Tommy was on the phone. He's like, "Seth, I want you to be my trainer." And I was like, "What am I going to teach these guys? I don't even know what I'm doing." He was like, "Well, just show them how you write a ticket. The rest will come." So I moved into a trainer position pretty much right away, when I got into the industry.
That's cool. Wow, that's interesting. So what's the plan for legacy now? Like, are you, are you happy just you? I talked to some guys who are like, I don't want employees. I don't want to do anything. Or, do you see yourself down the road getting off the truck and having employees?
Yeah. The goal is to hire a couple of employees within a year. I would rather get off the truck sooner than later and just move into a leadership role.
That's cool. I mean, it is a tough trade, no doubt. I mean, so are you guys doing any commercial doors or is it all residential?
It's only residential.
Okay. And I always ask this question. So what's your favorite motor? Like, who are you promoting?
LiftMaster.
LiftMaster? All right. I got to know why. I mean, answers I get for these questions. I mean, I'm going to do a research on it. I love it. So why are you a LiftMaster guy?
Just in my experience, over
Okay.
the course of 11 years, I have seen them fail far less. And I've been only LiftMaster.
Okay.
So in a year, I might go and have a bad motor out of the box or having to do a warranty board replacement, not even once a month. I mean, it's rare. Might get a string of issues when they're working some kinks out here and there. But for the most part, it's been an extremely stable and reliable machine versus every time I'm going to all of these other,
Mhm.
Genie by far seems to have the most problems. I just won't touch them.
Do you let customers buy their own stuff and then show up and just install it?
I will. Absolutely. I've had customers buy their own door from Lowe's. I've had customers buy their own operators. It doesn't make a huge difference to me because I don't mark up my operators that much. They're basically
Okay.
paying for my install.
Mm-hmm.
So whether they provide it or I provide it, I'm not making any more money than I would installing it either
And
way.
what kind of doors are you selling? Who do you
So I sell
distribute?
AMAR doors.
Okay.
I've reached out to Clopay recently in CHI and I'm still waiting on a response.
Okay.
But AMAR, in my experience, has always worked real good. They have good lead times. They have good product. Installing the doors, they always have the parts. It's not every manufacturer is going to have their
Yeah, they all.
string of issues.
Do,
But
do you think homeowners know, like, I mean, homeowners don't even know all these different brands. Like, I mean, I wonder what the impact of Craftsman has been on the motors because, man, they just have taken over the shelf space when you go to the big box stores now and stuff. And they have a good name, but like, it's still not the greatest stuff. I mean, how do you sell a motor when people see these other different brands, or do you think homeowners don't even know?
I just tell them what I recommend and what I've seen.
Okay.
I tell them, I see LiftMasters, even just the base pro models go for 12 to 15 years like clockwork versus, and you can find it on Google. Luckily, it's actually accurate that most motors are rated for about 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
LiftMaster is going, almost double that. You get the elite model, it's a 20+ year unit. There's really no other company that can match that. And I just let them know that. And usually the homeowner is like, "You're the pro. You
Yeah.
obviously know what you're doing. You've spotted my problem in less than 5 minutes. What do you think?"
How are you doing so many new door installs? I mean, and, that is interesting. So I know they're coming from Angie and Thumbtack, but the homeowners call and they're like, "I want a new door," or you get there and they ran into it.
They want a new door.
Okay.
And this is actually quite surprising to me because I was never a really good door salesman. I was good at fixing. But whenever I started this business, I told everyone I want to specialize in selling new doors. I want to get
Yeah.
a new door up, teach these guys how to properly install it, know that it's installed properly. And I think that's where we're really going to build our legacy. Our name is putting new doors in for everybody. And it's almost like the law of attraction, or, the universe answered and said, okay, well, here you go.
What kind of tools are you using as far as like scheduling? So are you using any booking software or using any, you got QuickBooks, anything, Service Titan, anything like that?
Sure. So we're accounting, we use QuickBooks, but we're using House Call Pro, which I think is
Okay. You
really
like it so
easy to
far?
use. I
Hmm.
love it. I've used Service Titan with two other companies, A1 and Crawford Doors. So I know Service Titan. It's very good.
Mhm.
And so I was kind of wary, I don't want to pay the price tag yet. And House Call Pro has just exceeded my expectations.
And House Call Pro is reasonable to get into when you're starting out.
Yeah, very.
And their app on the phone's pretty good, isn't it?
It is. It's just super easy to use. I've
You
used a lot of different ones over the years. And so that's kind of why I was afraid. And maybe that's why I'm so happy with them. Just so seamless.
Seamless. You mentioned a couple of minutes ago, we were talking about citations and stuff. So you had mentioned you look for yourself in the AI. Are you using a lot of AI tools to help run the business, to do any marketing or just to do any like business development?
No, I'm not. Which
Good.
which is something my project manager wishes would change because my brother started an AI marketing company. So
Oh, that's cool.
he has plenty of information and knowledge, and I haven't into it.
How do you think AI could help you? I always love these questions about this because like we're all at different levels.
I don't know. I
Mhm.
don't know. I have to honestly say I know very little about AI, except that it's a tool and you have to learn how to use it.
Yeah. Well,
And
he might
maybe
obviously
I'm just
doing AI.
unwilling to learn how to use a new tool right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Next year's the year to learn a whole bunch of new things.
In the future. So you've got, you mentioned a project manager. So it's not just you have other employees right now?
Our project manager is hired. She's independent.
Oh, that's cool. Tell me a little bit about that. So you hired a freelancer or independent
Yeah.
contractor?
Yeah. Freelance. She is the best project manager, hands down. Definitely recommend her. And, I don't know. She's great prices. I need somebody who I can bounce ideas off of
Hmm.
and they can tell me that's a horrible idea. Right? And this is why. How
Okay.
about we go this route? We take the part of it that's a good idea and we kind of flex and go this way. So it's good to have, and we have meetings every other week, me, Jessica, and a project manager. And we sit down and we go through, hey, we're going to mail out holiday cards for Christmas. How does that sound? Great. Let's start a customer loyalty program. For every referral, my customers get $25 off their next service call. So if they refer 5 people,
Mhm.
that we get to work for, then they get a free service call because we do service calls for $125 with a free tune-up included, and it's working. People like to be loyal, and they
Mhm.
like a company to be reward them for that. I think.
So a project manager is an interesting first hire. How did you decide on that? Like what was going on that you're like, I need somebody?
Well, I know garage doors really well. I don't know business, and I had to come to a moment where I just said I need somebody who knows at least the basics. That get taught in school about project management. What works, what you absolutely have to do. And it's come in really handy because I started doing this in-house financing for my customers in the area. And I didn't consult with my project manager first. And she said, there's laws in every state
Mhm.
that govern, this type of thing. You might want to look into it. And because of that, there is paperwork that I needed to print out and things that they needed to sign. It's not as easy as I was making it. And that's
Yeah.
for the protection of the consumer and the business. But if I wouldn't have had the project manager to bounce that idea off of or say, hey, we're going in this direction, I probably would have been doing some free work at some point.
Man, I love these conversations. So I want to dive into that. So tell me about your in-house financing program. Why did you start it? And if you don't mind sharing some of the terms and how if it's evolved, because a lot of guys are on that. I mean, I feel like we all could sell more sometimes if people just. I mean, doors are expensive, and a lot of people who need a door they can't pony up 3, 5, 8 grand sometimes.
Sure. So this is actually something that I'm borrowing from a company I work for in Denver. One, not Tommy Mello, they want. The owner's name is Christian, another really cool guy. But what he did was he accepted post-dated checks. He'd take 50% down and then take 2 to 3 checks post-dated, each to be cashed in 30 days, 30 days, and 30 days. And it worked so well whenever I was working with just customers. It wasn't often. It was not very often that customers don't have the money. But in those times that they didn't, and they asked if we had any programs, the posted checks were something that they jumped on, right away.
So is
And
that
I
what you
don't,
do? Are you doing the same thing?
yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm not charging a finance fee. I could here in Mississippi, I could charge up to $20 a check or something like that.
Okay.
Nothing huge. I'm not trying to make extra money off them. I'm just trying to make it affordable for them to get their garage door fixed or replaced.
So do you recommend that to other garage door guys, financing doors?
I mean, I like that tool is available. Like here in Mississippi, I just have to have them sign, the installment dates and when it's going to get cashed, the amount, and then give them a printout from, that goes over, because it's technically like a payday loan or something. So they just have to have some documentation that it could put them in debt or something. I haven't read it, the whole thing and all the fine print. I have to give them that sheet whenever I have them sign off on it. But I do plan on moving into something like Green Sky. Green Sky I've used a lot with other companies. But I think we have to be in business for 6 months to a year from what I've researched. So I told my project manager, I said, this is not a long-term solution. It's a short-term. And she was like, okay, it would be a little more reputable if you did something like Green Sky.
That's cool. How did you find your project manager?
She's my mom.
Oh, all right. That's a little cheating. That's a little cheating, but
I mean, we are paying her. We're paying her.
Yeah, no, I love it though. That's good. Moms have the best advice. She kept you out of trouble again.
It's hard. It's kind of hard sometimes. Like the little kid in me is like, I don't want to listen to you. Like even when it's great advice, I'm like, I don't want. And then Jessica's like, it really is a good idea. Yeah.
So is your mom local in Mississippi? She follow you, or she was from the area?
No, she lives in Denver.
Denver. Okay. So how long were you in Colorado?
A couple of years.
Okay, cool.
So I've done doors in all over Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Georgia.
Wow. So where in Colorado? Just in the Denver area? Okay. We were just out there. My daughter lives in Estes Park. So
pretty.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So where in Georgia were you doing it?
Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, that's a tough market too.
That was the hardest market I ever worked in.
Oh, man, that's a killer. So you mentioned before you got a wrap truck. I see you in your shirt and your hat. That's good branding. Did you start out with that, or were you like, okay, after working? I mean, you must have gotten a lot of great insight working with Tommy Mello. I mean, we always mention him, as I said, but that must have been really an eye opener too.
Yeah. I watched him, brand and then rebrand again. And I saw the evolution. So it took the stress off. I'm like, okay, this is kind of our first branding. We'll probably rebrand as we grow and get bigger and have the money to do it. So what we have now works really well. I always wanted the lion because to me, it's a symbol of courage, leadership, strength, empowerment, guiding others. And there's a lot of really, really neat meanings, and it's been something that's kind of come in and out of my life. So we've got something that's personal to me. We've got the legacy name, which I love the meaning behind that, and leaving a legacy. And really just the legacy I want to leave is good, honest, quality work that's not ripping people off. Whatever. I've been in markets where, like Utah, they charged a lot of money for their parts, but the whole market did. And I just came to realize, like, no matter what I'm charging people, they should all get the same work, whether it's a slumlord who's, paying you $50, $75 to install the motor he bought himself, or all the way up to the billionaire who lives up in Park City. They all get the same work, and that keeps me consistent. That makes sure that the corners aren't getting cut and every customer has a great experience.
That is very good advice, because I think it's very easy sometimes where you are, you kind of look around and walking into a billionaire's house. I have a friend that's very well to do, and we were just talking about pools. I don't have a pool. He does, and he lives in a nice area. He's like, every time I get a quote to refinish my pool, it's just so outrageous. because they look around, they think you can just afford all this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. But at the same time, I've been into billionaires' homes who wouldn't do a single thing except a tune up, even though their wood doors were falling apart.
Hmm.
And they were attached to their doors and they were working, and that was what it
That was it.
was. And then you go into the ghetto. There's not really any ghettos in Salt Lake City, but the more rundown area, and
Right.
they're dropping $1,000 for an opener without batting an eye. So it really doesn't matter. And that's what I learned.
What are some of the challenges that you're facing right now that makes this a tough industry?
Aside from Google,
We could talk forever about Google. I mean, it really is. It is. I mean, we've talked a little bit about it, but it does make or break you. I mean, I can't believe you don't have a map listing. Not on you. Just it really, it really is pretty crazy.
yeah, yeah. And I've seen big companies get their Google listing pulled, for some reason or another. So I know it's not me. I'm not taking it personal.
Yeah. Did you like, so do you have a location or you work out of your house?
So I'm taking it in steps. Right now, we're working out of the garage, just picking up doors as they come in and they're getting installed, ordering
When you
parts.
did the video, did you lay out all your tools and show the van and show like tools and business cards and like
Yeah,
the computer and stuff?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard that having um, a cash register or point of POS system, even if it doesn't work, like set up on your desk in the garage is a great way to do it. So a lot of guys are going on eBay, they're buying like old point of sale systems and everything for like $50 and they're just it doesn't have to work. And when they're doing their videos, it's like if you go on all these message boards, you can, I mean, that's what we kind of tell our clients to do is like, hey, here's like the 5 things you got to have if you're going to have the service area business from the house. But
Interesting.
besides Google, what's holding you back if there's anything right now?
Right now, there's nothing holding me back. I think the next thing that's coming up that we're starting to realize is, even though this is not going to be an overnight success, it is growing faster than we thought it would.
That's cool.
And so now we're thinking, okay, we got to find somebody here in the country of Mississippi that wants to work on and do garage doors. And I'm willing to pay, industry average. I
Hmm.
don't care that we're, what kind of minimum wage it is. I know what the fair pay is, but I've got to find that guy pretty quick. And, getting the truck, getting it wrapped, that's not an
Hmm.
issue. But I want to make sure I find somebody who wants to learn the trade and grow with the company.
Yeah, that's a challenge. I talked to Matt Kuhlhorn with Cooler Garage Doors. So he's out in Colorado. And he was really interesting because he's really like developing a culture with his employees, which I thought was just so cool. And he has a very, a regimented training program. Like he's got this whole idea of like what you do your first 90 days when you start with a company, who you ride along with and stuff like that. I mean, so it's like a 2-part problem. One, finding that person and then training them. And I mean, how is it in your area with people when you say they don't want to work? I mean, we all kind of flippantly say that, but do you wonder like if the younger generation is like intimidated by the blue collar trades and the hard work because they're just not prepared for it? I mean,
I think so. I mean, when we were growing up, there wasn't a lot of the office jobs, unless you wanted to work at a call center or,
mhm,
go into some sort of a professional trade. So there really was just a ton of blue collar work, and that's what we were used to. I think that it's flipped. Now they can go in, they can be in cybersecurity or programming. There's so
yeah,
many more options for them where they don't have to do physical or manual labor, that it's almost maybe foreign, or it's just not something that's absolutely necessary.
yeah,
So really only the guys who like to get dirty. Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there like that. It's just a matter of finding
fine.
them and get, I already have my training. Thanks to my program manager, I have my training program lined out,
That's cool.
where we have a training manual along with a set of training videos that I've created. So if they get stuck in something, they can pull up a video.
Oh, dude. So did you make the videos yourself?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. What did you do? Set up your phone or a camera and just film yourself doing a door? I want to hear about this.
Yeah. Jessica takes one of the iPhones that we've got,
Okay.
and I just started out. I said, this is how to properly weigh a door so that you know what size of spring to put on that's 25,000 cycles or more, because that's our minimum. That's what we promise our customers.
Okay.
25,000 cycle springs with a 3-year warranty. But we've got to put the right spring on there, and this
Hmm.
is how. And so I walk them through step by step. and she is filming me as I'm doing it and talking about it.
Oh, that's cool. So if you're doing videos like that, are you doing a lot of social media? I was looking at like your Facebook page and stuff. Do you guys do a lot of social?
We have all of our socials set up. I'm not doing any YouTube, which
Mhm.
project manager says, why don't you have your YouTube up and I'm putting these videos on it? Again, great advice. It's something that I need to do and
Yeah.
get plugged into, and I know that I do. But so yeah, those videos are. I actually want to hire somebody, a videographer, or somebody who's a little bit better at video editing. She says I can do it myself. It's pretty easy, but I think I'd rather just pay somebody to come in, shoot the videos, and then edit them themselves.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, the way the industry is and stuff like that. I mean, video production and stuff. These guys still charge a ton of money. I mean, I've got two friends that do this. That they'll ever watch this, they'll be angry at me. But they're also expensive. Doing video is expensive. But man, you can go on Amazon and get these DJI gimbals for your iPhone, and you can use a virtual assistant from the Philippines to edit this stuff. And you can, guys are going on Fiverr, and Legit, and there's other marketplaces, and that you just shoot the raw video and you upload it in Google Drive. You hire a virtual assistant, and for literally $3 to $6 an hour, they are making amazing videos. I mean, that's probably the better way to start. I talk about this with a lot of guys. Like, that's the way to start in the beginning, because dude, have you ever tried to edit video? I'm horrible at it. Like, it takes
Right.
forever. It takes
Yeah.
forever.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't want to edit videos. It's not
Yeah.
my field, but I love that advice. I'm going to go with that because we've got all
Yeah.
the videos made.
That's cool. So do you think social media is like super important? And it is important, but like in your area, like, did you ever have a client who, when you get there, they're like, "Oh, I was checking you out. I really didn't see," or questioning you, or not really?
No, no,
No.
I haven't had a whole lot of interest through social media, not even Facebook. We run
Okay.
ads here and there, but just mainly it's just to drive some traffic to our website. And
Okay. So I looked at your website. So did you build the website yourself?
no, my sister did.
Okay, cool. And what did you guys use? What is that? Is it a
That's
Wix
Wix.
website? Wix.
Yep.
Okay. And does your website generate business for you? Like, do you get leads out of your website? No, not yet.
No, when we had a really good couple of months. Well, I thought it was good. Obviously, a larger, more established company would laugh at the numbers, but we had like 5, 7, 800 visitors in a month. But that was when we were using Bing. We were advertising through Bing and Microsoft advertising
Okay.
and running Facebook ads. So there was a ton of traffic, but nobody ever told us that they, saw our
Went through.
website.
Yeah. The website, and this is where Google messes with businesses again. Like, your website as a local service business is almost non-existent without the Google Map component. It really is, it's such an uphill battle on there. So do you think, like, so you've developed this company where you're ready to hire another technician with basically no Google, not a lot of website. Like, dude, that's awesome. I mean, you told me a little bit, like, what you must be doing something really well. Like, what else was it that you've gotten in just several months to this point to hire somebody?
I don't know.
All right. That's a good answer. We don't know.
I'm not doing anything special, anything out of the
Okay.
ordinary. I'm just, we pass business cards out everywhere. We got postcards
Mhm.
that we order. We go pass those out. I think the area just, there's not a ton of garage door companies here.
Okay.
There's even less, a lot less with a wrap truck and a website and, that looks legitimate.
Yeah.
So
Now, do you think a wrap truck is good or bad? Like, sometimes in some parts, people, they immediately see a wrap truck and think it's a franchise and don't want to call. Other people are like, oh no, they're legit. So which is it for you in your area?
everybody in this area has reacted very favorably towards it. They said it looks really nice. I let them know whenever I'm there on site. It's my company. It's a mom and pop operation, but that's not how we're going to stay.
Gotcha.
I have plans. This is my investment. You can see
Mhm.
that I'm invested in this company being around. That's the way I explain it to them, and they love the way it looks. They said it looks sharp, and I think that they do like that that I've invested more time and energy than just
Mhm.
showing up in my own vehicle.
That's cool. Now, you got to put some pictures of with your shirt and hat in the van on the website when I was looking. I didn't get those pictures
Yeah.
up there.
Yes, I have I have so many photos that I need to get to my web to, yes, I know.
That's cool. So what does Jessica do for you? So she's like she's part owner, office manager. So who answers the phone? Like 2 o'clock in the morning, is Jessica answering it? Are you answering it?
Yeah, Jessica's got the phones. She's got it down really well. She'll go on calls with me, and talk to the customer while I work. So she's a talker. I'm more of the quiet, silent guy, except unless it's one-on-one. But she just social butterfly.
That's
So
cool.
so she's going to be heading up like the marketing and the dispatching in the office, and she's doing an incredible job at that. And she designed the colors, and she worked on the logo. She can really see detail really well. So yeah, she's doing a lot of the areas outside of the actual garage door work.
That's cool. Yeah, we always need that. I mean, that is where women and men complement each other on this a lot of times. So that is cool,
Yeah,
man. Well, Seth, this has been a great conversation talking with you. I wish you all the best. I would like to check back in with you again, dude. But I mean, it's super impressive that I got to tell you, because I talked to a lot of guys, no Google Map, like not a lot of presence, and you've grown it so fast. So, do you think what you saw with A1 and Tommy Mello is also some also inspiration of like, you kind of know the points in the road to hit and like where you're going?
I do. I think that all the experience and all the companies that I've worked for have given me parts of that company that work. So I've seen where a lot of the pain points were. I've seen what ended up panning out, what worked really well. And it's
Who was
just,
the most impressive company? You mentioned the guy in, was it Salt Lake City or Denver? I couldn't remember. I'm sorry. But like, who was the most impactful boss that you had in the garage door industry?
for me, it was Crawford Door Sales out of Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake. Okay. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And just the way they treated their customers and me as an employee, and empowered me to grow beyond what I thought I was capable of. I can't ever tell them, and not how grateful I am for the experience I had while I worked for them.
That's cool.
The culture of this company that I'm building is based on the culture that they built with theirs.
No, dude, that's a great compliment right there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's cool. All right, Seth, I appreciate it, man. Any final questions or comments? You want to give us a parting word?
No, I'd say check back in a year, and it would be a fun conversation.
That's awesome. I appreciate it. You have a great night.
All right. Good night.